Welcome to Eye on Paulsboro. Today's program comes to you from the administration building here on campus of Paulsboro High School, formerly known as the Ireland House, a place where I used to cut grass in the summertime for $5 a cut.
Remember Mabel and Mary, our teachers? They were great, great ladies, and they think that their ghosts are still here, John.
Well, we could do a segment with them.
We're ready.
Interesting program today. Of course, we always like to say that. But the school district is going to be asking you, the voters, to participate in a special election on January, I think it's 27th, for funds to continue with the upkeep and maintenance of these buildings. And, of course, it's very, very important. Dr. Quint's going to come on and explain all the details, how it affects you with cost. It's actually pretty significant in respect to what it will do. It seems like the timing's right on the money. So stay back. Stay with us. We'll have a couple surprises as well. We'll be right back.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
And welcome back. As I mentioned at the top of the show, our main subject here today is visiting with Dr. Walter Quint about the bond issue that's going to be in front of voters on January 27th. And this money, as Walter's going to explain, goes to the maintenance of these buildings that are owned by you. Walter, really a very exciting project. You're here, and you've been through one of these before. This work is important, and maybe describe some of it.
It's critical work, John, and it's really 5 items. Few smaller items surrounding them, but 5 major items, and those items are the same for each of our schools. All of the schools need new roofs. All of the schools need brickwork. The schools need an enhanced security system. All of the schools need heater and boiler controls and heater upgrades. And then finally, we have drainage problems around the buildings and grounds that need repaired. The other big project is maintaining our athletic facility and our all-weather track, our tennis courts, and our baseball field.
Now, first of all, for those watching, I mean, the original portion of the high school was built in 1916. Like, nothing lasts anymore. It's 1916. Imagine you have to put a roof on it. But the details, the weather takes its time. Let's talk about the money side of it. What does it mean to people?
The bottom line, less than $3 per month on the average house in Paulsboro. As you mentioned, we've been through this before 20 years ago. The good news is we have just made the final payment on that bond from 20 years ago. So the school district is in a very enviable position of being debt-free. We don't owe anybody any money. We're retiring that debt. And in addition, the state has agreed to pay $5 million towards this project. It's an $8 million project. The state's going to pay $5 million of it. So with the state aid and the retiring of the debt, the overall increase on the average home in Paulsboro, assessed at just over $113,000, is $34 a year, less than $3 a month.
And the details, again, it's very important to participate in these elections. This is an odd day, right, Walter? It's the 27th.
It's the 27th of January. It is an odd day for an election. Polls will be open from 2 till 9. We wanted to make sure the polls were open early enough in the day so people could go out in the daylight and vote. Most interested, our parents will be able to vote and then go pick up their children. Same polling places as a general election, Sportsman's Club, Guardian Angels, and the Paulsboro Firehouse. So it will look just like a general election in that sense.
A few more details because we've got some visuals you provided. Interesting to see the effect of water and a freezing cycle on brick.
Yeah, it's fairly dramatic. You wouldn't believe that brick could move like that. We're talking about Loudenslager School, but actually the brickwork in all three schools, there's work needs to be done. What happened at Loudenslager School is the roofs leaked for a while. We need a roof replacement. The building itself is concrete block and concrete beams. It's perfectly safe, it's stable, it's in good shape, but then there is a 4-inch thick brick veneer on the building and about a ½ inch between the concrete block and the brick. When the roof leaks, the water runs between those two surfaces. When it freezes, it expands, and what's happened now is the brick are sliding forward, and the brick walls above each of the windows are now unstable and need to be replaced.
Roofs are always tricky. You've got three, some flat roofs, some other roofs. There are rubber roofs today. All roofs are going to be replaced?
Not all of the roofs, but virtually all of the flat roofs will be replaced. The original building at Billingsport is a peaked roof. It's in very good shape. We used in 1995 the very best, longest lasting shingles we could get, so we're probably good for another 20 years. The same with the 1916 portion of Paulsboro High School. The 1916 portion of Paulsboro High School, there's some flashing needs replaced, but that's all. The rest of the roofs in the district are flat. They need work.
And boilers?
It's the heater controls in most of the schools. What we have are valves that open and close in each classroom to adjust the heat. Those valves were put in 20 years ago. They're worn out. They no longer open and close. So a few days ago, it was 5 degrees in the morning. If you went to Billingsport or Loudenslager School, the windows were open because there's no way to regulate the heat in the room. So we need to replace those controls. Paulsboro High School is a little different situation. The boilers we're using were installed with the 1965 edition, so they're half-century old. They've outlived their useful life expectancy. We've replaced a burner several times, but now they're very hard to maintain. They're very hard to repair. We had one of the boilers go down during that cold spell. When they came in to fix it, they said, we can fix it, but when they started to do that, other parts fell apart. So we managed to get through the cold spell with one boiler. A little bit scary because the high school freezes very quickly.
Nothing frivolous here.
There is nothing frivolous. Sometimes you say, could you wait a year? Yes, and the answer is no. The brick are failing on all three schools dramatically. We have a construction fence because of a fear of falling brick at Loudenslager School. The high school is not far behind with that. The boiler has to be done now. So there's nothing frivolous and there's nothing that can wait. I would even add in 2 rooms in the high school, we have tarps hooked to the ceiling. So the water runs in, collects in the tarp, and we have a hose running from the bottom of the tarp out the window. Absolutely critical.
Well, you should work that in with an engineering class of some kind. Somebody could get credit for that. The report you've heard from Dr. Quint, I think, is very succinct. Fred worked in some pictures. You were able to vote on this question on the 27th. He also makes a very good point. The state is in a position to contribute $5 million to the $8 million. I can tell you, I don't know how long that money's going to be there. That's off a bond that people in New Jersey passed a few years ago. That'll eventually be spent. So it should be that some of that money should come here. So if you vote in the affirmative, that $5 million will find its way here. Walter explained what the impact on your tax bill would be. So please, plan to participate. These public schools are so very important to all of us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
And welcome back to Eye on Paulsboro. A big part of this community, as well as communities all across America, are the relationship between their high schools and the sports programs. People get to watch kids grow up and then go back, watch grandchildren, just all very good. With me now is a person that really needs no introduction, football coach Glenn Howard. He's a graduate of this high school class of 76, went on to play college football at the University of Minnesota, where he excelled. In fact, I got to see one of his older football games in the old Minnesota Stadium, the open stadium against Ohio State was on a couple weeks ago. By the way, he looks the same. But he just told me that he's been coach at Paulsboro High School for 28 years. So, Coach, first of all, welcome. Haven't had on the show for a while, and congratulations. You had a couple milestones this year. Now, you told me as you walked in the building, you're coaching 28 years?
Yes, just finished my 28th year. Doesn't seem like that long.
I'm stunned by it. My hair hasn't changed color at all.
Right. It's been a while.
That's a long. That's a real run. You followed Jerry Tarassi in. I remember the transition. You've handled and helped a lot of kids grow. This year was a pretty exciting year.
Very much so. We came into the season knowing we had some pretty good athletes, but knowing our line was a little bit undersized and not knowing really what we had as far as a quarterback. But we knew we had good athletes, so it was just a matter of us finding a position for those guys to go into and developing the line. We put in a new offensive system, and the kids really bought into it. And just week by week, they just continue to get better and better. And, we ended up with a conference championship and a Group 1 championship.
And you ended up, yes, both of those very significant. It seems like you ended up with a lot more this year. My sense from the sideline was you accomplished a great deal this year with maybe a year where you didn't have the kind of material you may have had a handful of years ago. The fact that you retooled that offense, you went from your offense you've run for years to it was a fast pace. You were communicating with kids from the sidelines without huddle.
Yes, we coaching staff worked very hard in the off season. We visited numerous clinics and numerous colleges and universities around the area, trying to find information on the spread offense, which basically is similar to what the Eagles try to do. We try to do it. They do a great job of doing it, but it worked out well for us. The kids bought into it. The coaches really loved it. It was something that we all could learn together. So it sort of put life back into, our system. It juiced up, rejuvenated our what we had been doing. So it was very, very fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I was just going to say to you, change and something of that nature can keep a coach young.
Yeah, I felt like a young coach again, just getting started because I had to learn it all. It was all new. It wasn't just the same old thing day after day after day. It was always something new, and a lot of the coaches had input. And like I said, we went around to a lot of different places, so we had a lot of resources, a lot of notes that we would fall back onto during the year. And defensively, we didn't change that much. Special teams, we didn't change that much, but the offense was totally new. So
I don't know, special teams. I thought I was watching Lou Groza kick extra points there for a while. Yeah, straight on kicker.
Right, that's with Nico. He had to change his shoe into the old square-toe shoe. That was Lou Groza, yeah.
It was Lou Groza, but he kicked 3 out of 3 against Salem.
Yes. He came through when we needed him.
I had a sense the day was going to go well. You've had a lot of highlights over the years, as I mentioned, both his professional career with the Philadelphia Stars, playing college football, and it was Glenn's class to turn Paulsboro High School back onto a winning track with his first Colonial Conference championship in 18 years here. It's his class 1. But Glenn, you got a couple highlights this year. The overtime victory against West Defford, that was really pretty special.
Yes, it was. It was a strange situation because the kids had a little mixed feelings because it was the first time we've made the championship game since 2006. So some of them had the mentality like the West Defford game doesn't mean anything and let's just do what we have to do and look on to the championship game versus Salem. But we tried to convince them that every time you step on the field, it's important to compete and put your best effort forth. So we drilled that in them all week, and we had a great week of practice, a great week of preparation, and they played their hearts out. They hung tough and hung around in the ball game and made enough plays when they had to win the game at the end.
It was I thought pretty significant at a lot of levels. And you played Salem in the rain. Thank God it wasn't a cold day because it rained.
Yes, it did. It was bad weather, but we had practiced in a lot of bad weather during the year. A lot of cold days, a lot of cold nights, a lot of rainy days. We were out there practicing, so we told the kids, it's just a matter of getting it in your mind that that's what you had to deal with for 3 hours. We said, you have 3 hours to deal with it, but you have a lifetime to remember you winning a championship. So that's what we tried to emphasize to them. We played a couple rainy days. Woodbury game was very rainy, and our first game against Haddon Heights was a lot of rain that day. So we had been in that situation. It really didn't affect us that much.
Well, before we close the segment, congratulations as well. You marked your 250th win this year.
Yeah, that was a milestone. I really didn't know. I know it was close, but when I actually achieved the 250th win, I really didn't know it came on that day until they told me. But it was nice. But the championship is much better.
Well, you have won championships at a lot of level, because when I look at the faces of these kids and I see the level of trust that they have in you and the coaches you have assembled around, this is what high school athletics is supposed to be, because it's a teaching and learning experience. The fact that I think today to be a successful coach, kids have to relate to the coach and trust them. The fact that you can run that kind of offense, that takes discipline, and I think it reflects well on you, Glenn. I'm just pleased you're here. I've said to Dr. Quinn, if you got a bonus or a bump like the NCAA does with regards to winning championships, but I suspect that's not the case. And 28 years, how much longer on the sideline?
I'm not sure. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm blessed. I feel real healthy. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy teaching. So I'm not sure. I just take it year by year, but I'm not looking to go anywhere anytime soon.
That's about the best news we could hear on this show. And I say that for a couple of reasons, because I mean so sincerely, for those who follow sports, you know the value of the relationship of a coach and the kids. When taxpayers invest in sports programs with high school, it's part of education. And I can tell you, those kids are surrounded by Glenn Howard and his coaching staff get an education, and they get bigger and stronger emotionally as the year goes on, because they're learning. That's a good thing. Coach, we're very grateful to you. Hope you're on the sideline a very long time. And we'll be back right after this.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
And welcome back. I stand here for this segment with Reverend Pastor Frazier of the Second Baptist Church. He has been a very, very dear friend to many people watching the show, I might add. I've often said to him that the weight he carries on his shoulders is very, very large. Of course, he, with his vocation, expected some of that. But, Pastor, you have been such an asset to so many people. We haven't visited for a while, and you were recently in the hospital.
Yes, had triple bypass and total knee replacement. But thank God I'm doing well. I'm healing, back in the pulpit preaching, and I thank God for that.
Well, you built a new church, and you have attracted people. I have been with you, and as you have delivered the word, and you have a way of touching people.
Well, thank you very much. Only the help of God that we do that, and we continue to serve the people in the community and those that's not in our community. We do what we need to do to the help of the Lord. Amen.
Well, you also want to run a wide range of services, and one of the issues that the pastor had always brought to my attention serving the legislature was helping people make their way back into society after they have maybe been jammed up and have paid their dues. We are working on a number of laws involving expungement and trying to make this more seamless so people can get back on their feet.
I think that's a great idea. As you know, we do mentoring children of inmates, and we mentor the inmates. A lot of them, we try to find them jobs, and it's difficult because they have records. If we can get those records set aside and expunged, I can't wait till the legislature does that, where we can move forward. We have so many young men and women that are in dire need. We take them to get jobs. They run a record check, and they say, "I'm sorry, I can't hire you because of your record." So we look forward to that challenge to move forward.
We also recently did a lot of work, and you were involved with it, of course. At the time, I think you were laid up in the hospital when we closed it out. In New Jersey, we're overhauling the rules of bail, for example, and there's going to be what's called a pre-trial risk assessment. And the idea is to not have people locked away in jail simply because they can't afford a minimal cash bail. We have almost 40% of the people being held in the county jail are simply there because they can't afford bail, but they're not considered a threat.
I think that is wonderful. If we can get the bail reduced and get them where they can get back into society, get a job and do what they have to do, that is most wonderful.
A job solves a lot of problems.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's the key. So without a job, they go out and do whatever they feel like they need to do to survive.
To feed themselves.
To feed themselves.
That's the challenge.
That's what's happening now.
Now, back onto the church community, it is a challenge to be a pastor today. I'm in a lot of churches because of just the role that I play and the work that I do, and churches are struggling for people's attention.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. We're struggling. Every month is a struggle for us. We have a lot of people that are just not coming to church anymore for whatever reasons, and a lot that don't have jobs, and we're struggling. But we're gonna make it.
Oh, there's no question in my mind that you're going to make it, and the churches will flourish. It seems the world has changed, and the NFL football programs start now at 11 o'clock in the morning as opposed to just 1.
That's right, and that's where everybody is stuck on the football.
It's just a fact of life. I mean, people are distracted.
You're absolutely correct.
Well, we appreciate you very much, and it's good to see you. I'm glad to see you're back on your feet.
All right, thank you so much. We're good to be back, and we're going to continue to move forward.
I've always called Reverend Fraser my pastor. He's an important person to a lot of people. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
Welcome back. It's time for Community Notes with Urban Stevenson. I just realized, remember, this is our first show since the Christmas show.
Yes, John, and everybody really enjoyed the Christmas show, especially with you and Joe.
Yeah, it was a good show. And yourself, Irma. I just hold the microphone.
Oh, okay. It was a great show. Joe Giovanetti never knows what you're going to say, but that's okay, John.
There's no script.
And how was your State of the Union yesterday's speech?
It was, I stayed awake through the whole thing.
Oh, very good.
And I enjoyed it. The governor looked good, spoke well. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Okay. Happy birthday, Alfie Miller. The Barber triplets, Jason, Ryan, and Alyssa. Margaret Tedeschi, Lenny Curtis, Mayor Jeff Hamilton, Raylyn Stevenson, Judy Maurer, Jim Milstead, Ed Carson, Stacy Moran, Jim Milstead. Did I say him twice? Oh, my God, John, that's pretty. I meant his daughter, Jamie. Doug Stetzer, Elaine Koshu, Mary Cipielli, Anthony Marina, Pete Policino, Andre Bay, Alan Bay, Arnold Bay Jr. We sure miss Arnold, don't we, in those parades? Diane Bay, and Captain Mark Quint, United States Army. Aunt Bert, Brooke Reininger, John Hoffman, Larry Moran Sr., Pat Relation, Roshonda Braxton, Chippy Wilhelm, and I just found out that it's John Giovanetti's 53rd birthday today, John.
I didn't realize he was a day over 40.
Yeah, okay. Happy anniversaries to Cookie and Harry Llewellyn, Tony and Nancy Fleming, Kathleen and Pete Policina, Linda and Bill Sampson, and Terry and Bill Pollinger. Happy birthdays and happy anniversaries. The Gloucester County Library, the Gibbstown branch on Swedesboro Road, is having a jazz and sweets night for a romantic evening, John. That sounds pretty good. Thursday, February the 12th at 7 p.m. And also, they're going to have a visit with George Anastasia. He is coming to the Gibbstown Library. He, on Thursday, March 26th at 7 p.m., he writes a lot of books about the crime and the criminals and the mob. A book will be available for purchasing and autographing. Please call so you can register or register online.
Excellent writer, by the way.
John, he is. For the Inquirer, correct? Yeah. Okay. Zumba. Have you ever done Zumba? Zumba. Well, I don't do that kind of stuff.
Bob DeLille does that. Are you watching, Bob? Bob DeLille does Zumba.
Well, good. Fitness. The second and fourth Mondays at Paulsboro High School in January, February, and March, 7:15 to 8 p.m. Ladies and girls, it's free. Bring your parents, bring your girls. Sponsored by our Gospel Tabernacle Church in Gibbstown, 856-423-1119, John. I've never tried that, John.
Yeah, that would be natural for you. I'm serious, really.
Oh, okay. Do you have to wear tights and shorts and all that kind of stuff? Or?
I would think you'd want to.
Oh, okay. We're also going to have Black History Month. History Month is February, and I think they said on the 13th, John, at Paulsboro High School, there will be a program at 6:30 p.m. For further information, please go on the website. Jennifer Turner is in charge of this. Please come out and celebrate Black History Month. Hoagie sale will be held for the Paulsboro High School Red Raiders baseball team on January 30th at the Bridgeport Fire Hall, 10 a to 1 p. Call Brian Zane at 467-2476. And, we'll be going into wrestling, we are into wrestling, which was great. Paul Marina, 600 wins, John.
Hard to believe.
It's just a blessing with Glenn and Paul and our other coaches, but especially those two because they're graduates of Paulsboro.
No, it's always big stuff. That's going to do it for the show. For Fred Buchter behind the camera, for Bill Crane, our producer, who couldn't be with us today, Irma.
Please vote. It's so important to vote. Yes, on both issues, John. Our kids need them. Paulsboro needs them. Our schools. We have to keep our beautiful buildings up to date. It'll be great.
And remember, that election is going to be January 27th. Dr. Quint said the polls open from 2 to 9 p.m. That's 7 hours, and it's the usual polling places, the Sportsman Club, Guardian Angel School, and Paulsboro Firehouse. So let your voice be heard, register your vote, take in all the information you received in the mail, plus what's conveyed here today. You'll make your own judgment, but you don't fix the roof, you eventually lose the whole building. That's going to do it. Irma?
See you on Broad Street. Go Big Red.
Until next time.